funny. Yeah, like it's beautiful.
Hey everyone, I don't know why I'm giggling. I'm excited. Welcome to another episode of the Onigiri & Co podcast with the one and only, what do I say? Lexie Janson now, I should say.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we just go with names now.
Just go with names. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm stressed AF right now, so it's the month. It's the month of stress.
It's the month of stress, and we're going to touch about it very soon on this episode. For those who are joining now, and it's the first time you're listening to this podcast, Lexie and I created the Onigiri & Co podcast all the way back during the pandemic in 2020. Yeah. And it worked quite well for a while. And then I had a big break, and Lexie had already moved on a bit from FPV, and that's what we're going to touch on about today. I have a big plan for the comeback of the podcast with a series that we're also going to introduce today. But honestly, this is pretty much an episode where Lexie and I are going to catch up, and you can tag along if you're interested.
We're going to yap a lot.
Yes.
Yap.
So without further ado, let's get into it. Hello, stranger. What have you been up to?
Oh my god, I missed you so much. What I've been up to, so I'm currently living full-time in Ireland. I think since we actually started this podcast, I lived in Germany, Australia, and now in Ireland, so it's great. Moving continents is amazing. So I'm living currently in Ireland, and I actually plan on staying here. A lot of things have actually changed, and I left FPV completely this year. This has followed my decision of doing this. I decided it like December 2024. I decided like, okay, I'm done with FPV. This is not working for me. And it's been a pretty rough couple of years. Like I've been in FPV for 10 years. And at one point you just say enough is enough. And my enough is enough was apparently really late. This is what Michael Rollins and Joshua Bardwell said. They were like, I was shocked that you were still around after everything that happened. And I was like, yeah, I'm done now. Thank you very much, guys. So that was weird. And I just focused on my writer's career in a way. So I just focused on publishing my first debut fantasy book. So if anyone likes my storytelling and things like this, there is a book now, and I actually have it, so anyone who's watching can see it in hardcover right now. So the book series is called The White Raven Tales, and the first book is called Crown of Shadows, and it comes out this Halloween, so it's absolutely perfect. It's a dark fantasy, # not a romance. It pisses me off still. I cannot live with this. And it's dark fantasy, talks about mental illness, talks about forbidden history and what happens if someone just decides like, oh, this is not important, let's get it out of the history books, as well as just general dichotomy of good and evil, like how do we know what is good and what is evil, and does it just depend on who won? So it talks about those things. It's heavy. But it's 5 POVs. It has a lot of folklore, monsters, folklore themes, because I love folklore. So it's talking about Nordic folklore, Celtic, and Slavic. So there's banshees, there's licho, there's dragurs, and a lot of other things. Because, I like history, I like folklore. It all had to make it to the book. That's the first book in a series as well. So if I sell 2,000... I will be able to work with my publisher on the next book. That's what triggers our contract. So please pre-order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Waterstones, and all the other places. So I'm excited for this. And since it's October and my book comes out this month, as we are recording it, it's 4th. It's the month of stress, so there's a lot of marketing to do and a lot of like events to attend and things like this, but I'm super excited because I can actually hold my book and it has my name on it. And also the cool thing is that you will see it once you get your copy, but when you open it on the first pages, it also says that chapter graphics are made by Norbert Jansen. So there's
Wow.
2 Jansons in the book included. So all of the chapters and all of the POVs have their own drawings to make it easier for people to follow up, like who is who. And all of those chapter graphics have been created by my brother. So now it's a family business.
Wow. Hey, you know what? I'm excited to get the copy. I think when we started the podcast, we mentioned pretty early on in an episode that you had
That I was
one that,
writing it.
you know.
I was
So that's why
writing
I
it.
thought, oh, damn it, it's a good excuse to come back and do a little bit of an episode on this, as well as launching my own series of episodes that I want to do for the podcast. So I think it's a perfect segue into releasing some more episodes for 25 and 2026, hopefully. But first, I want to say, as a bookworm who has, with life, forgotten that I love to read so much and only started again, I would say pretty much last year. And then now I'm reading a lot more. It's perfect timing for me, selfishly. I can't wait to read your book.
I hope you like it.
I will. I'm sure I will. I've seen that some people already got it from the book club that you attend, and they've already like halfway through or something. And this is amazing.
The rating on Goodreads currently is 4.0, even though I actually, oh God, I have to say it. I have 1-star review in which a person said that the book is written in third POV, but then the internal monologue is in cursive in first POV, and it was getting me out of the book. And I'm like,
that's weird.
Yeah, so that's one. That's my favorite review, by the way. I look at it sometimes and I'm like, why? And then there's a couple of people who, like, I don't get it. Like, I love reading, but I don't understand how some people have a goal of read 400 books in a year. Like, do you even read them? Do you even remember things? And then the same people are leaving reviews under my book being like, I didn't understand. And it's like, yeah, because in my book, you need to, like, pay attention to details. It's high fantasy. You have to.
Yeah.
Or someone else who said, oh, I love fantasy, but there were so many new names and new things at the beginning. And I'm like, welcome to fantasy. Like, it's not romantasy that gives you like easy read and it's super simple. It's epic fantasy. It's dark fantasy. Yes. Like, when you start Lord of the Rings, they also give you a lot of names. They just explain it with time.
Yeah.
So
I think
I'm living in this now.
Yeah, a lot of fantasy books these days are not exactly how we grew up reading fantasy, because fantasy has turned into this, well, you call it romantasy. I didn't know it was that term. So yeah, it's different.
I just know of romantasy because it's like romantic fantasy and they say it's smut, and it's like, yeah, 1% of the book was a sexual scene, like, congratulations. But like, I sent my book to one guy in a book club, in like Irish book club, just to ask like, hey guys, would you like to read my book? And he messaged me back being like, oh, I've never read romantasy before, so I don't know how it compares to any other. And I'm like, if you look at the back of the book, it literally says dark fantasy.
Yes.
It doesn't say romantasy. It's not a romance. It's like a lot of people told me like, oh, but you know, you're a girl, so it's a romance and it has like romantic plot. And I'm like, it's a background. It's like Aragorn and Arwen. Are you trying to tell me that Lord of the Rings is romantic fantasy now, or a Witcher is? Or is it just because I'm a woman? Like, it really pisses me off. I'm like, oh. So yeah, I'm using hashtag not a romance.
Yeah. Did you get cool feedback already from either people you know personally or that you've read on socials? Or
I got a lot of good feedback from different authors that did not think it's a romantasy. I actually have one on the cover. There's a Crown of Shadows is Fantasy Done Right by Jack Stechman. He's the author of A Battle of Fire. And I also have 2 nice reviews by a horror writer, D.G. Woods, and Holly's Barkhouse. He's an epic fantasy author, and he also has a really good review. So I got some praise for it, and I got some reviews from people that I know, or the author review copy readers, that they were like, some of them were like, oh, this is too hard, and the other ones were like, oh, this is amazing. So you can never make everyone happy. Like, my favorite thing is going through comments right now, and some people are like, oh my gosh, there was too much saying, not enough showing, and then the others saying too much showing, not enough saying. I was confused, and I'm like, okay, So you cannot make everyone happy. I just realized that really fast.
Yeah, but you love it as it is.
Yeah, I mean, I have 40 ratings on Goodreads right now, and the medium is 40. So it's pretty good for a debut book, I believe. And once it goes out, probably there's going to be more reviews. So if you guys have it or read it, please leave it a review on Goodreads and Amazon and everywhere. But it's so beautiful. Like,
I love it. It's beautiful.
It's
people who are only listening to this, you should just at least go and have a quick look if you have time on social media of Lexie or even this episode. And oh wow, it's properly done. So for those who can't see what I'm seeing, there's a proper map with a little crow in the bottom left.
Because it's also a
and
white,
then my glasses
white one.
on.
Yeah, because it's white raven tail, so it's a black and a white one. So and the cover is beautiful, and it was actually handmade by the cover designer of my publisher. It's not self-published. Look, I have a publisher logo.
I think I voted because you made people vote for the cover. I think that's the one I voted for.
It's just so good and looks so good from the far away as well. It's so easy to see. So sorry for the long book talk. I'm really excited and stressed out.
No, we'll come back to it later in the podcast because I have more questions and I want to know, and we haven't been able to talk that much. So we will go back to that in the last part of the podcast. So what else though have you been up to? You've just been busy.
It's weird to say, but I'm 32 now and I'm starting my life all over again.
Yeah.
Again. So it's stressful, but at the same time, like, you know, like I had my phases and everything. I got diagnoses on different things, so I finally know what's going on with me, which is amazing. I'm finally allowed to be who I want to be and be myself in a way, because there's no more dealing with a lot of comments and just people being rude. So this has been actually life-changing, and some people like Joshua Bardwell recently also said that I look much, much happier and relaxed, and Michael Rollins said the same. So I'm pretty happy about that, and it's really a different feeling now that I'm out of FPV. And I'm not saying that FPV guys suck or anything like this. It's just I wish people reacted more. But it's not just in FPV, it's in everywhere in life. I just wish people reacted more to things like this instead of just ignoring it and being like, oh, don't feed the troll. And then nothing happens. Like nothing ever changed because people did nothing. And it's just weird to be like, oh, you know what? I left FPV because finally after 10 years, I decided enough is enough and just focused on something else. So that's it. Yeah. Out of other things, if Michael Rollins listening, you are right. So it's funny because I finally found myself a partner. Hey, I have a boyfriend. Yay.
Yeah.
And Michael said that it's so funny because all the guys were thinking like, oh, being mean to me in FPV or like being super manly and blah, blah, blah is going to get me. My boyfriend literally made me a dress for our next ball. He's going to me with me to the ball next week. He made himself a matching set. He brings me flowers. He's bringing me snacks, and he, hear me out, treats me like a human being.
I'm happy for you.
So yeah, I'm the happiest I've been in a really long time, and he also supports my book like a crazy person. We're actually going to be having a first signing and selling event like before the release on the 12th of October in Manchester. It's like a mini book con, and him and my sister and a friend of mine are going to just run around and get people to get my book. And he's like super into it. He's dressing up as one of the characters and he's gonna just bring people in. And I'm like, oh, this is so cute.
It is. It's good to be supported, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels weird.
Oh, I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you because I know it's hard when you are for so long into something, for example, FPV. You kind of build your personality or a part of personality around it as well. So when you leave it, it feels like you're grieving a part of yourself in a way. Did you feel like that? I
did, because I felt like, oh, I worked so hard for this for so long. But then a lot of things started happening, and I just felt like the universe is speaking to me. That I was thinking about leaving FPV so many times, every single time when something really hardcore happened. It's not like someone wrote a bad thing to me and I was like, oh no. It's just like there were really weird things happening for so long. Like considering like threats, weird videos, weird pictures, physical abuse and stuff like this. So there was a lot of things happening, and I thought about leaving, but then I was like, no, I paid so much for this, I worked so hard into it. I just changed my whole personality, the way I look, and I was trying so hard to fit with the guys so they would leave me alone and allow me to do my hobby, which is the weirdest thing. Like, I think I spent way too much time proving that I'm worthy of doing what I like doing and too little time actually enjoying it in retrospection. So yeah, it felt bad, but then once I made this decision in December, I just went do something else, and all the good things started happening. Like, I went to my first ball on the New Year's Eve, and I sent a lot of my manuscripts for the book to agents and stuff like that, and I got an answer. 3rd of January, yeah, 3rd of January, I already got an offer, and I was like, oh, this works.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can actually have my book. And it's been really nice, and everyone's really supportive. And some of the guys from FPV are actually supportive of my book and stuff like this as well.
And you think this is probably for sure, like, you don't see yourself going back into the drone community? No.
I really don't. It's just the training for racing is taking so much time, and I don't really have an opportunity to go and train anywhere outside of a simulator. And it's not really like, I know what it takes to do the training. I know because I've been doing it for so long and actually, got some trophies and stuff. I don't think I would be able to catch up right now. I don't really want to. Yeah. And it's just too much. Like, maybe I will fly FPV for myself when I go for a trip or something. But I'm actually selling a lot of my stuff right now just to kind of close this chapter forever. And that's going to be it. I'm really happy that I'm out in a way.
Yeah. It's interesting. So to keep the podcast moving across the plan, this episode, it's also something that, so for other reason, I felt like it was time for me to step out of FPV a little bit. And that's a little bit different than your reasons. Mine were more about, in a nutshell, I didn't feel like I could be creative like I used to be before flying drones. So flying drones has always been amazing. It will always be amazing. I never stop. Like today, I was walking in Melbourne City, and I was looking up, and I'm like, that would do a good dive,
Yeah.
This never goes away, at least in my experience for me. And the problem is just that with the work I do as well, it's just life happened, and also I felt like spending my time fixing drones was not fulfilling anymore.
Yeah.
And also I felt like I had nothing left to say in terms of creativity on YouTube. But this is also what created this idea of the podcast, and the new series that I want to launch this year is to remember the old days of FPV. Because I rewatched some videos on my YouTube channel recently. I wanted to, because I did it for me in the memories, right? And I was thinking about things that happened very early on. I wanted to see how I was flying in the beginning. And I rewatched videos, and I was like laughing and a bit crying with some of my own videos. I was like, you're crazy. Why are you tearing up on this? And I thought, you know what? That's what I want. That's what I want to talk about. There's so many more people in the hobby these days, and they've joined this year, they've joined last year, and I'm like, I want to create this series with all the pilots that will say yes, that were there in 2015, 2016, before that for some of them. I just want that to happen, and that really motivated me. That is where I want the creativity to go in, and and even though I'm not flying at the moment, I flew in May and June because I had a friend staying over for a few months here. and she flies a lot. I had a drone ready-ish, but the problem is I have a problem with my VTX that I haven't figured out. And every time I go fly and I'm like, yeah, it's shit. And then I come back and I don't do anything about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've been there.
But at least I can get up in the air. So, when someone comes around, like if someone's visiting from somewhere overseas, or even if a friend is like, what do you do this weekend? I can still go. Do I enjoy flying that drone? No, because there's a problem with the vision. But I enjoy the hanging out. And that's also why I'm like, I miss my friends from the FPV community. And I'm like, I need the podcast as well for that reason. And so, I didn't really plan anything for this first episode. I didn't want to do a big history of FPV or whatever like that. I think I just want people to have memories they cherish and talk about it and how it was at the beginning. Just
goodbye day.
Not necessarily in that way, but like what you remember of what like got you going in the beginning, this kind of things, or what you were like, oh my god, this is amazing, this is the best thing I've ever done. Because there was a time where I was also thinking like this, and I still think a lot of things in FPV are the best thing you can do. Like you can be a bird, which is pretty cool.
Be a bird, yeah.
Yes. So it's like, if there's anything you want to share about your early start, even reminding people how you got into FPV in the first place, maybe, and then what are your fond memories of those very first few years when you actually entered the hobby and flew?
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, one thing that I really have to say, and it actually made me think of your creativity stuff. Since I unlisted all of my vlogs and FPV vlogs on my channel started growing by itself.
Oh.
And I just have the tutorial videos, and all of a sudden I don't get too bad comments in this channel, and it grows by like 100, 200 subscribers a month. And I couldn't make my channel grow at all, and all of my videos and vlogs, and which I think were creative and fun, were like nothing. And then all of my tutorials are like super great, and people talk about them on Reddit, and I'm like, why couldn't you guys do it while I was still active? And I needed this support, just asking for a friend. So this is one of the things. Now, what got me into it? I think that's the story that a lot of people know, that I was just doing like a project, like a filming project for a theater, and the guy, the owner of the theater, was having a real Jack Sparrow vibe, and he was like, I heard of those things, drones, I like that, can we do it? And it was like 2014, I believe. And I was like, yeah, sure, we can. And then we couldn't, obviously. So back then, the drones didn't have the live feed, so you had to go up, do the shot, go down, put the SD card, realize that you are shit, and do it again. It took us 3 days for a 10-second shot, by the way, but the guy loved it. And I said to the guys, like, hey, it would be cool if I could see, like, in a real time. So, yeah, a friend of mine actually showed me FPV drone, and he just went up and down with the goggles on. And I was just like, I'm going to do it my entire life. This is great. So that was the fun part, the feeling like a bird and everything like this. And I actually gotten into it pretty fast, and I started with racing at the beginning of racing, when our tracks were just like going in circles, if there was one flag and 2 gates, that was something. That was a good time of racing. Now you have all those creepy things.
2 gates.
I'm not making it up. It would go in a circle too. It was great. So back in the day, I'm that old. I've been on FPV for that long. So that was fun. But once the FPV was like picking up, I remember it was 2016 or 17, or maybe, yeah, I think so. But we had this first Korean event on which they like invited 100 best pilots, and I was the only girl. It was great. I met Mr. Steele then, and I was hanging out with Trappy and Tony Cake, and it was hilarious. And I was the only person that actually had a hotel room for myself, because they didn't know what to do with me, because I was the only girl.
Yeah.
And I heard later that everyone had like 3-4 people in the room, and they added beds to their rooms, and I was there just like alone. And the funniest thing was that they had a party, and I'm not really a party person, so I just made sure that everyone saw me, and then I left. And then the next day, everyone remembered that I was there, and they were telling me that I was still there once I left. And Trappy was like, how drunk you guys were? She left like an hour in.
Yeah.
And Trappy was nice. And they were like, no, no, I was talking with her. And I was like, with who? Not with me. I was sleeping. So those were the good old days.
Yes.
And like the beginning of racing, like the fact that it was so community driven, and you would just sit there, and this 100 pilots was a great idea, but I would race every 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wow.
the good old days. So for the 3 hours, I would just sit there, and there was Stephen, who came to me at one point, and he said, "Excuse me, my lady, would you mind joining me for some burnt animal flesh?" It
For
was so
what?
great. Burnt animal flesh. He wanted
Oh
me
my
to
God.
go with him on a steak. It was so good.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. And it's just like the times when everyone actually knew each other, and when we were going for races, it was all the same faces all the time.
Mhm.
And those people were like supportive, and they knew that I would do stuff, and none of those faces that I would see all the time would say anything bad to me.
Mhm.
When FPV started getting more popular, it started being worse. It just kind of like, it was like the usual misogyny that you are dealing with, and then it kind of like plateaued because I
Yeah.
was actually doing stuff, and then it just went off the charts
Mhm.
at one point when FPV started being like more popular. Um, so those were the worst parts. But another fun part that I remember, two things. Once I was invited for the race that had a plane as an obstacle.
Oh, wow.
It was great. It was in Switzerland, and I think it was on a Swiss drone league. And I hit this plane, and I hit it so hard that there was nothing left of my drone.
Oh
So
my
I made a
God.
video that I hit the plane, and it was the funniest thing because it was still working. Like everything was connected, it was just broke into pieces. But it was still connected, and I was like, "Yeah, soldering. Good job in soldering." But another cool thing was when I went to Turkish drone race, and they said that they already have two representatives of Poland and two representatives of Germany. So what would I like to do? So I messaged the King of Sealand, which is this tiny country on a oil rig next to UK, and I said, "Dear Majesty, I come in front of your throne today to ask for permission to represent Sealand. So I'm the best pilot in Sealand." And it's funny because the Turkish government didn't know about Sealand, and they had to make up the flag of them and make Sealand on my name, and it was hilarious. So that was fun, and everyone was like, "Who do you represent this time?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm representing Sealand." And they're like, "What the hell is this?" And I was showing them on the map.
That's so funny. How did
I was
how
like,
have
okay.
how did you know about Sealand?
Oh, I'm the person that likes the really useless knowledge. So I know all the smallest countries in the world, the top 10. I was between Andorra and Sealand, but I was like, Sealand's easier to deal with. So I actually have a title. I have a title. I'm a lady in Sealand. I have one
Oh.
square foot of land for representing Sealand on this race, by the way.
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious. So good times. There were a lot of good things. I loved the community and the fact that you could meet up with people all over the world. I got kidnapped in China by some people, and in Hong Kong I was kidnapped too by some people that just knew I'm gonna be there, and they just took me to a van. I was kidnapped by Sun Chong in Korea a couple of times. She just like put me into a van, and she's like, "Wait here," and all of a sudden she puts the guy from Fat Shark in, and he looks at me. I look at him, and he's like, "Where are we going?" I'm like, I don't know. So there were so many good things on those races. Like I loved it, but then like it just started costing so much because all of a sudden there were more laws, and you had to go farther away to train, and then all of a sudden training, like you couldn't do with a couple of gates and a couple of flags. You had to have all the big things to do actual training to keep up.
Yeah, I feel like I think the community side hasn't really disappeared because when you end up meeting people in your neighborhood,
Yeah.
you can still have that.
Mm.
Um, like everything, it's as soon as the popularity increased, obviously our only guides to build drones and figure out what the heck we were doing was to go online, and then the community spread online, and like everything online is just tainted by the we're all anonymous behind keyboards, and some people will become weird because they're on the internet, and they might not be weird at all if you meet them at your local park, but on the internet they are weird. it's true that it was at the beginning, it felt like we were a lot less people, and I wasn't even there at the very, very beginning. I only started in 2017. But even the internet felt safe. I feel like for me at the time, it felt okay. I remember there were not many FPV Facebook page, because that's what we had after forums. Like, I didn't start on forums, but the OGs that I'm going to interview in this series, hopefully, they started like on forums.
I started on forum. It was RC
you did.
groups.
So was that
I
was
started
probably
before
better.
Nurk.
Yeah.
I was talking with Nurk about it, and he was like, "Oh, I think you started before me." I'm like, haha, 3 months, by the way.
Yeah, like forums, and there was only a few people on YouTube that would teach you what to do. So there was Project Blue Falcon.
Oh yeah, he was so great.
Yeah, he was good. He was very passionate. And you know what? I went preparing this series. I went back to his channel. And so the few first vlog he was putting out there, and I'm like, oh, this is what we watched initially. Days. And we were like, I want to do this now.
Yeah, exactly. It was fun.
Yeah, that's something that people may not know if they've started recently, but Rotor Riot was everything for a lot of people. It was, and like,
they were given prizes. It was like church.
Like, they were quite community oriented, and even like the initial like 5 pilots that I'm gonna try to have on this series, not guaranteed, because some have left FPV as well, but you know, it was every time a new episode was out, like, we would stop everything with my ex and religiously watch it. I miss that, honestly. I kind of miss, I don't know, because FPV was dependent on social media, and social media algorithms have changed a lot, and the way people use social media has changed a lot. It's almost like you don't have everybody watching one big channel all the time, in FPV at least.
Yeah. Well, everyone watches Bardwell, we know that.
Yeah. And recently we got that with Journey FPV, who released this, you may not have seen because, you know, you've been a bit out, but he released a freestyle video for the first time in years, like an actual freestyle. And it wasn't the cool stuff that he does usually, you know, when he has a show reel or something like that. It was him in a park, and everybody lost their shit in a good way. And I was like, oh my God, I watched it on my TV like I used to do. You know, I streamed it from my phone and I was like, it feels good. I miss this, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of miss that sometimes. Like, I miss Steele's vlog when he used to vlog, and I miss we can say whatever we want about Rotor Riot, and everybody is going to have a different opinion, and that's fine. I have mine. But they were really good at producing entertainment content that we could relate to, and that dictated also how we viewed FPV. Like, I wouldn't have started FPV, I think, without Rotor Riot and the way they showed what was possible at the time, that it wasn't just about putting a drone in the air. Because at the time, with my ex, he was trying to get his drone ready, and my perspective was him in the backyard of the school that we were living in, just being annoyed that the drone was full of vibration, and land and spend 2 hours on the desk, and then go outside, fly, and be grumpy, and then be happy sometimes when something would work. And I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? But then he started putting the episodes of Rotor Riot on TV, and I saw Zoe, and I saw Tommy, I saw their trip to Hawaii, and I'm like, oh, okay, it is not just about the drone.
Yeah. It was so fun. Yeah, I actually miss it. And I miss a lot of people that I met along the way too. Like, I met Johnny. He was actually, my light died. He actually used to steal my camera on the races.
Oh, really?
And he would walk around with it and just talk to me, to the camera. And I would just go back home and find all this footage. I would be like, what are you doing?
Johnny said maybe for the podcast episode. This might happen on the episode. I'm going to be like, oh, hi, if he ends up being part of the series.
Yeah.
It's weird because I didn't meet him in real life ever. I liked his flying, and I liked what he used to do and still does for the hobby in general. I think he's always been a good ambassador of what we do. For many reasons, for the talent in the first place and the people he collaborate with. But anyway, this is also hopefully going to be part of the series. So like I was just saying before I went on the tangent, going to try to interview each different person, maybe around a theme for episode, or I'll just let them talk because I feel like they are things that I don't know that they've been through as well. And it's going to be interesting. It's not going to be one, like I said, in our days it was better or blah, blah, blah. The youth don't know how lucky they are today. If you're listening to this episode right now, since it's just like literally a pilot, introduction, tangent, segue, everything you want to call it, but if you have like questions for specific guests or guests that you would like to hear from and want to know about how it was when they started, please put it in the comments. Send me DMs on the Onigiri and Co Instagram page. I can just read it to them and see what they say about it. So honestly, this is all I wanted to say about FPV in the old days for this first episode. I know it's not really structured, but I'm getting back into recording episodes, so people be tolerant. And I wanted to finish again, maybe a little bit about what's next for you, what's next for me. I'll start and then we'll finish with you with your book launch, and we'll talk a little bit more about your book again to finalize the episode. What's coming with this podcast? I'm hoping to record maybe once a month. That would be nice because I have a busy schedule. So it would be nice. If there's more episodes, then there will be, if it's doable. They're not all going to be part of this series of podcast about the old days of FPV. It's going to be also some other guests that I think have interesting things to say about FPV in general. It's a bit weird for me because it's very rare that I fly these days, but I'm still enjoying the talk and being aware of what's going on in the hobby. I still follow everything on Facebook. I still watch some YouTube videos like bot grinder videos and things like that. During the absence of the podcast, I actually had people saying I miss it, which I was like, oh, that's cute. Sorry. I will be back. I just don't know when.
That's cute.
And then beside this, I don't think I'm going to do much more when it comes to FPV. It might be a slow exit as well out of FPV. Once I'll have told this kind of not final, but like complete story and I will run out of guests, I might be saying goodbye, but I didn't want to end it like I ended it last time, which was just stopping recording without saying anything. So if you're in the audience and you're like, I might be interested into what's coming, feel free to stay. It might be the final the final goodbye of Onigiri FPV. Or it might not be. Who knows? We don't know. But at least it will have an ease out that I will be proud of if one day I look back and I'm like, yeah, I did this podcast and it didn't just stop out of the blue. So that's the goal at the moment. What about you, and coming back to your book, things that you can tell us about it that would motivate people to read, where they can find it, and
okay, so next for me, 12th of October, I'm going to a book con in Manchester, which is organized by Fake Lab, which does fantasy balls. Really cool. You should try it out. Nice to meet people. And it's really funny because I was saying things about it, and some of the FPV people bought tickets for this book con, and they were like, I just want to meet up and grab your book and have a selfie. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. So that's the next thing for me. The book official release is 31st of October, so Halloween. Dark fantasy coming out in Samhain is the best thing possible. And I guess from there, I'm just going to promote it like a crazy person. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited for it. And I'm actually like more than halfway through with the book too. So, it's beautiful.
Awesome.
And I'm having a couple of other projects as well for different books. Because I always liked storytelling and I always liked creating worlds in a way. And there are stories with me for a long time. So I hope, like my boyfriend said that he wants to bet that until I'm 80, I'm gonna have at least 15 books written, and I'm like, 15? You underestimate me, honey. So it's gonna be more. So that's next for me, and I hope to at least have the outline and some of the chapters written for my new project, and grab an agent for it to get a better book deal than that I have right now, and just see how it goes. So those are my next things, and I'm just really focusing on books and writing. And this is another thing that I really like, is that a lot of people say like, oh, you're reading fiction, it has nothing to do with real life. And then I'm like, have you read Hunger Games? It's theoretically fiction, but this is how people used to tell each other stories. Like, we wouldn't say, oh, don't go to the woods. We would be like, so I will tell you about the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Things like this. So stories actually do carry a lot of stuff inside of them. And if you can read a fiction book and actually take something out of it, like The Handmaid's Tale, stuff like this, you can see that some things are happening. And sometimes I'm like, can someone read another book than this one book that they are clinging to? But I do not mean Mein Kampf and stuff. I mean other things.
Jesus Christ, you caught me off guard.
So yeah, I just want to tell the stories. And actually, like, I also ask sometimes on my Instagram, I ask people, how do you know that something's good? And how do you know that something's evil? And they said, well, we have law for that. And I'm like, okay, the law in a lot of countries says that you can marry a child. Is it a good thing? No, but it's the law. So how do you know? So it's I really like talking about the dichotomy of the good and the evil. Like, how do you know who is right and who is wrong? And does it only depend on who won the war? So this is what the White Raven Tales is talking about, because it may turn out that the evil guys were not that evil after all, or maybe the good guys are not that good. And we actually see it a lot. We are being told that, oh, those guys were good, and then it turns out that the history, like, we found something and it's like, oh, they were not that good after all. So I like talking about things that are deeper. So yes, it's fantasy, yes, it has a lot of action and things going on, but it also has those undertones that talk about real issues and real things that are happening. Again, in White Raven Tales, I have two cultures and two religions. One of them is really based on paganism and Slavic Nordic stuff, and the other one is actually based on one of the monotheist religions. And I'm going really deep into it because I did read all of those books. I read Bible, I read Quran, really good reads, highly recommend, especially to people who actually go after those religions. So like culture, folklore, and stuff like this is really like my little pony. And some people actually read my book and they said, oh, like this kingdom is sick. And I'm like, yeah, it's actually based on things that are real. And they're like, no, what do you mean? No, it's real. So I like really talking about those things. So yeah, if you like undertones of things that are actually happening around the world in the books, and you like thinking about things, and I think that's the best. Like, I don't like horrors that have a lot of blood and all over the place. It's like, nah, boring. I like the horrors in which you hear to the villain and you're like, damn,
yeah,
okay. So my books, and it's dark fantasy for a reason. There's torture, there's hand-to-hand combat, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of morally gray situations in which also you talk about maybe someone did something because they didn't know any better, or maybe they did something because they had no other choice, or they had different information than you do. So there's a lot of, like, there's 5 points of view in the first book, and each one of the characters knows something different. So they see things in a different way, and one of the characters has just 2 chapters of her own, but you see her from different points of view, and everyone sees her differently. So that's also about showing people that maybe you see someone, but someone else sees this person differently as well. So there's a lot of those things. But yeah, if you like fantasy, then there's magic, there's runic magic, there's a lot of elemental things as well. There's swords, fights, really cool things. A white wolf that has purple eyes and his owner thinks it's fine.
I'm sold, but you didn't have to sell it to me. It's fine.
You read the prologue some years ago, but prologue changed a little bit. I can actually read you the first line.
Yeah,
It's a
go
really
for
good
it.
first line.
Yeah.
Okay, please give me a sec while I get that, because there's pronunciation
Honestly,
guide.
between you and I and the audience, I read it many times on your socials, but I want to hear it from you.
Oh yeah, you're right, because it's good. I'm very proud of my intro.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. Have you ever wondered how long it takes for a frostbite requiring amputation? Valer Groff whispered. 4 hours, 27 minutes, and 15 seconds. I counted myself. So
Nice.
oh, and also there's a QR code, because I know some people read on Kindle, and my friend said that she hates it that the glossary is at the end and she needs to click it. So there's a glossary on the QR code. There's also playlists for music. If someone has problem imagining things, there's Pinterest boards as well. So under this one QR code, there's a lot of things going on. And if you think that that was a morbid intro to the book, it does get worse. That's the worst. I have one alpha reader that said that he cannot use metal straws anymore, but he's in book 2, so.
Ah.
My sister, who's also an alpha reader, she read the scene and she was like, nice.
Different take, different people.
Different take, different people, yeah. So it's a little bit morbid, and it really, it also talks about mental illness, and probably one of the characters is autistic, just saying you need to figure out which one. So yeah.
Initially, you wrote it just to remind people who might have not heard that in the previous episodes. You started writing this book because you needed a place.
Yes. I needed a place to release my outrage in a way. Because, you know, you write books because murder is illegal.
Oh.
Someone said that to me. They were like, oh, did you write it because murder is illegal? I'm like, yeah. It's part of it, but I think fantasy has a lot of place for this.
Yes, definitely. So, congratulations, on your soon-to-be released first book.
Yes.
I wish you all the best, for your adventures to come. I hope you hit the targets you want, and that, you can release the second book that you're already been working on. So,
yeah.
And also good job on the hard work.
Thank you. It's been a steep learning curve. If you thought that FPV is a steep learning curve, Jesus Christ, publishing a book. Oh my God. I'm still learning, and sometimes I get to know things and I'm like, the what? I got to know last week that I should register myself in an Irish writer's registration, and I have my own number now.
Oh, this is official.
Yeah, I'm official. I have my number, and I'm like, I didn't know that this is a thing now.
Okay. And to be completely fair, you've achieved a lot in FPV, and if it wasn't for you, maybe less women would have decided to fly. You were part of my journey because you were there before me. And I just wanted to mention, it's not because you've left or you closed the chapter that you cannot be proud. And I'm sure you know that, of what you've done for us and for the hobby. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of little girls have watched with their dads, for example. I'm not saying that they necessarily flown after that, but they were like spending some time with their dad. And that's a good goal also that you've reached with that. So
yeah,
good job.
Good times.
All right, my friend, it is 10 p.m. here and I need to go to bed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was worried for your time in here, so
that's okay.
You go to bed. Yes.
It's my fault. Guys. We were late recording as usual, but for everybody who watched this comeback episode, thanks for your patience. Like I said, it wasn't the most organized one, but I'm really glad we got to record it. And it doesn't have to be perfect in life as long as you get started. That's my motto.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for listening and for watching. If you watch that on YouTube, we are on all platforms. We are on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. So yes, you can find us on this. Give us some ratings if you want to support it. I'm also spending a bit of money in the back end to record all of this. So if you want to support my Patreon, that would be very, very welcome, so that I can make my expense even.
Yes.
And that's pretty much my only request. If you want to support this podcast, you either share it or have a little look on Patreon, and that will be plenty.
Amazing.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Lexie. We might see you around. If you ever want to come back on the podcast or be a co-host for a specific episode, let me know. Sure. It is not this is not a goodbye. It's a see you or whatever the saying is.
Oh, you will see me soon. Don't worry about it.
Well, good luck for everything, Lexie. Thanks for joining again today.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you have a final word? Do you want to close this episode?
One, buy my books. Two, follow Onigiri & Co. podcast on Instagram as well. Just be sure to do it and follow it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you listen to your favorite shows. And yeah, thank you guys for having me again. Hope I'm not yapping too much.
You haven't. And you haven't lost your little closing confidence. All right. Thank you guys and see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.